So if you guys can tell by the sound of my voice, I am sick right now. Since I'm home doing absolutely nothing, I decided to do a tutorial. This is a very dramatic navy and basically a couple different colors of blues and like a matte white. Let me show you a close-up. So just something I came up with. I'm going to show you how to do it with red lips and also with like a nude lip as well. So if you'd like to see how I did it, then keep watching. Start with what I used on my face. I've already done my foundation and powder and all that, and I'm going to list all of that there or there in the sidebar or wherever. I used a concealer underneath my eyes, and then I used a foundation, a liquid foundation that I just put on with my fingers, and then I dusted a loose face powder, a translucent powder all over. When you're doing a lot of shadow underneath your eyes, you want to make sure that you put either some pressed powder or a layer of loose powder underneath there. It really helps absorb any of the excess oil or moisture, anything that might cause the shadow or the liner to kind of creep down. And also because I wanted my brows to be a little bit more dramatic, I've gone ahead and done them already, but I used the Lancome, god this thing is ancient, it's the powder pencil for brows in Taupe. This is so beat up and embarrassing, but anyways, I used that to define my brows really well, and then I used the Stila brow polish in Fair just to set them and to help keep that shape. So I'm going to start with Urban Decay's Primer Potion and apply that all over the lid and the upper lid all the way up to the brow bone. And I'm also going to take it and do the bottom part right underneath my lower lashes, and also drag that out a tiny bit more, extend that. So from the E.L.F. Quad in Drama, I'm going to be taking this matte white shade right here, tap off the excess, and that's going to go right underneath the brow bone. And this is very pigmented, so you want to make sure that you kind of only put a little bit on the brush and then really blend it in, or blend it out rather. Bring that down to the inner corners, take a tiny bit more on your brush, tap it off, and that's going to go in the tear duct as well, the tear duct area. So the next product I'm using is the HIP Eyeshadow Duo in Spirited, and I'm going to use the lighter color first, and this is going to go on the inner half of the lid. And if you go over that the matte white color a little bit, it's alright because I'm going to go back and touch that up later. Next I'm going to take a crease brush, I guess an angled crease brush, and put that into the darker shade of the Duo. And I'm going to kind of trace how I want the shadow to look on the outside. And then go back and fill it in. Okay, and the next shadow I'm taking is from the Wet n Wild for Fantasy Makers Eyeshadow Duo in Blue Ice. This is with a special holiday collection for Halloween that came out. And I'm just going to take a pencil brush, but again that's just going to go into the darker shade, which is a really pretty navy. Has a good amount of shimmer in it, but it's a really dark shimmer. And I am also going to tap off my brush several times because this shadow is so loose, like you just put it in there once and it picks up so much product. But I'm going to start it at the outer edge of that blue, and that's just going to be kind of a definer color. And that's going to go all the way in, not trying to blend it too much, but it's really just accentuating all those blue shades. I'm going to go in with a small blending brush. This is NARS number 12 brush. And first I'm going to blend that at the top. I'm blending that navy with the highlighting color. And go outwards. Just using the windshield wiper motions. And definitely you want to go ahead and blend on the outside so there's no harsh lines, but still keeping that shape. And then go all the way in and blend out that dark blue. And then I'm going to grab my highlighting brush again, the one that I used, the matte white, and I'm using a shimmery white now. This is Bobbi Brown's Eyeshadow in Snow, and I don't think this is available anymore. I've had this for a while, but just use any shimmery white that you have, and that's going to go on the inner corner, the tear duct area, just to brighten it up a bit more. And I'm going to take that lighter blue shade from the Blue Ice Wet n Wild Duo, and just with my finger, I'm going to go ahead and pack some of that color on right where I did that other lighter blue. Just not all the way in because you don't want to mess up that shimmery white that we just put on. And just use your finger to kind of blend the darker blue and the lighter blue in the middle. Next I'm going to take a liner. This is Tarte's Starry Night eyeliner. And it makes it look like it's a navy color on the, if you look at the cap and like the tip, like a very dark navy. This is actually just a black with some shimmer in it. You can either use like a dark navy shade or just a pure black with no shimmer. It doesn't really matter. So just line the upper eyelid. And don't wing it out too much at the end because we're going to be using the white right there. Line the bottom lashes as well and the waterline. And make this line pretty thick. And I'm also going to take this and kind of connect the two, the top and the bottom, to come to a point. It's not going to come in too far, not really touching the nose, but just so it comes to a nice point in the middle. And next, I'm not going to take my pencil brush. I want something a little bit more definitive than that. I'm going to take a pretty large angled lining brush, and I'm going to dip that into the darker shade in the L'Oreal HIP Duo. And that is going to go on the inner half, right on top of that black liner. I'm going to take the same brush into the darker shade of the Wet n Wild Duo and do the same thing. And this creates a really pretty sheen when you layer it on top of the black. Then I'm going to take the pencil brush again and dip it into the same Wet n Wild dark shade. And I'm going to drag this up along the outer corner so these ends kind of meet. If you have to drag a little bit more of this shade down to make them meet, then go ahead and do that. The next thing I'm going to be taking is a matte white eyelining pencil, and this is the Fascinating Eye Kohl from MAC. But this is going to go right where your top and your bottom lid meet. And I'm going to drag out a line all the way from the inner corner, or I'm sorry, from the outer corner, all the way out to the end of where the shadows are. And you're going to have to wipe it off on your hand or just something because the pencil will have picked up product as you're dragging it along the other shadows. And I'm just going to do the same thing, go a tiny bit lower and drag it out, and go a tiny bit higher and drag it out again. But if you want to, obviously you can just go and like smudge it with your finger to soften it a little bit. I'm going to take a big fluffy kabuki brush and just brush off any of the shadows or anything that might have fallen down on my cheeks. For blush, I'm going to be using Rimmel's Blush in Apricot, which is just a really soft, well, it's kind of vivid in the pot, but it's pretty soft when it's on. Very lightly tap that on a MAC, I think this is a 116, yeah, 116 brush, and that's going to go mainly on the outer part of the cheeks. And to brighten it up a little, I'm using Wet n Wild's Diamond Brilliance Gloss, and this is shade 615. And I'm going to show you how this look works with a nude gloss as well. And for the nude look, I've applied Merle Norman. This is the Luxiva Age Defying Lip Color in Just Kissed. And I'm just going to go ahead and top that with a clear gloss. This is Elizabeth Arden Crystal Clear Lip Gloss. And just start by dabbing that a little dollop in the center of the lips. Or the bottom lip rather, and working that out to the outer part of the lips. So this is the finished look with nude lips. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thank you for watching, and I'll talk to y'all very soon. Thanks, bye.